Chapter 28. Rankings. "John!" Alice cursed as Eve ran up from the east wing of the mall. I guess she was on camera duty. Perfect. Both girls stood in complete shock as I entered with my newfound team member. I stood, cold-faced with tired eyes. I feel horrible doing this, but it's not like I have anything against them. This game is survival, and if that means joining with the person I hate, then so be it. I'm not letting anyone control my fate, especially Hal. We're here for our team members, so if you'd be so kind as to hand them over, Ian smiled warmly. Piss off. John, what are you doing with him? Eve spat. It was this or die. Hal said it himself, I can't be a team of one, so I found someone to take me. And since neither of you even thought about going against Hal, I figured neither of you would even care, I huffed, much like a child. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't bitter. So hours after Hal kicked you out, you joined with the enemy? Alice spat. I joined you by a chance. Let's face it. If the threes had found me first, I would have joined them, I admitted. John, Eve cried weakly. I know I'm supposed to be a distraction, but this is hurting way too much. I don't know how much longer I can fight against them. Maybe this was a mistake, but it was this or death. And since when did I put my life above my morals? My own memories are corrupting my mind. Before them, I would have never joined Ian, even if my life depended on it, but now I'm just cold. All I want is to survive on my own and live to see the next day. Have I forgotten the reason I fight? The reason I want to live? I promised Eve that I would see her on the other side. I promised her that I would win this game so that I could see her in the real world and get to know the real her. Did I really forget that? I'm sorry, I whispered, lowering my shoulders slightly. My will to argue has vanished from my being. I should have never had it in the first place. Revenge has blinded me to my promise. Revenge has made me lose everything I hold dear. I'm an idiot. Sorry for what? Threatening us or joining our enemy? Maybe it's just for being an idiot, Alice began. I'm sorry for all of it. But mostly I'm sorry for forgetting my promise to Eve. I guess you're right. My word means nothing. You think that'll make us forgive you? Alice snapped. No, I know it wouldn't. I didn't expect it to either, I replied. You're more useless than I thought, Ian growled, breaking our conversation. Ian, I can't fight them. No matter how much they may hate me, they're still my family. Just how Rachel, Matthew, and Dan are yours, I stated, hoping that he could understand. Teams aren't families. They are a leader and their followers, Ian smirked. What happened to them not being your goons? That's why we're here in the first place, to save them, I stated with shock. That was just a lie to make you come along, he slurred, with the same wickedness I had seen the first time I met him. What? Want to know why we're doing this before midnight? Ian giggled from his words. He's next. Alice, get Hal now. Dan is after Hal, I yelled. Ian hit me across my face, knocking me to the ground. Damn brat. You should have just kept your mouth shut. The killer rose his bat from his hand, up to strike me. I narrowed my eyebrows with a smirk. I still warned them. There's still time to save Hal. I guess I deserved this anyway. Ian, please let my idiot go. Hal's voice entered calmly into my hearing. Ian and both looked over to see Hal walking calmly towards us. Horror came to my mind when my eyes gazed upon him. The white of his shirt was stained with red that traveled to his emotionless lips. Hal, are you okay? Eve asked with worry. Of course. After all, it isn't mine. Now, Ian, I will ask again. Step away from the boy and get out with who's left of your team, Hal threatened. Hal killed someone? What if I don't? Ian smirked. You'll end up like that pathetic excuse of a fighter. Also, you won't be able to get any clues here either. After our little encounter with Rachel, I wiped Leo's phone, so there's no reason for you to stay, Hal added. Why would you do that? It's not like I didn't look at them first. I mean, honestly, you brought this upon yourself, Hal sighed. You kicked Brooke out of our team. It's your fault she died, Ian howled, tightening his grip on the bat. For the last time, I kicked her out under a vote from the team. You were the only one who voted for her to stay. Get over it. Besides, she lived for a whole year after that, so you can't blame this on me, Hal explained. I don't believe anything you say. If it's not your fault she's dead, then whose is it? Ian snapped. I can tell you, Eve spoke up. All eyes fell upon the pink-haired girl. Eve, Hal threatened. No, Eve yelped. If I tell you, Ian, you must promise to leave Territory 4, and you'll stop trying to kill Hal. And what if I don't? Then I'll take it to my grave, she answered sternly. I could just force it out of you, Ian offered. I'll die before you do, said Eve. Eve? What do you mean? I asked, concerned. John, I didn't want to tell you or anyone because I didn't want you to worry, Eve smiled sweetly. What are you talking about? Alice questioned. My name is Yvette Marie Masters. I'm from Reno, Nevada, and I'm 17. Before I was taken, I was at St. Mary's Hospital, receiving treatment for my stomach cancer, Eve smiled. I don't know what cancer is, but by the look on Alice and Eve's face, I can assume it's not a good thing. Wait, so Eve is dying? Is that why she vomited blood? I've gone over a year without treatment. There's no way I'm going to make it to the end of this game. But at least I can help my team, she added. Ian, do we have a deal? Eve asked, walking an equal distance between the five of us. She stood with her hand out for the boy to take it. Ian lowered his weapon from a striking position. He walked over to the pink-haired girl and took her hand in a calm manner. Ian pulled Eve close, taking his pocket knife from his jeans. He dropped the bat against the white tile. A smirk met his lips as the knife cut slightly into Eve's neck. Eve yelped, struggling to free herself. Eve! Hal and I called at the same time. A grunt came from Eve as Ian tightened his grip. Ian, what are you doing? Hal snapped. Isn't it obvious? You took not only my team member, but our clues as well. With no clues to find, I'm going back to finding clues the only way I know how to. By killing player 1. His voice sounded hysterical as a smile forced its way into his lips. No, I choked quickly, standing from the ground. I need to think. There has to be something that I can do. Eve is going to die and it's all my fault. I let him in here, and I gave him all the information he needed. Before midnight. That's right, he said something about before midnight. Was he planning to make Hal player 1 before killing him? To get the clue? If he kills Eve, Hal's player 2, so he'll be player 1, right? Before midnight. Alice, what time is it? I yelled across the room. This isn't the time for that, Alice barked. Just tell me, I begged. It's 10:49 p.m. What does that have to do with anything? Alice replied, looking at her phone. I ran over to Hal, leaving everyone in a confused state. I leaned in whispering, almost too soft to hear. Please stall him. I'm begging you. I have an idea. I sprinted down the rows of stores that blurred in my vision. I just need to get far enough away from them. That way Ian can't see what I'm doing. You earn points from killing people, killing zeros, finding clues, and stealing. And I'm rank 4. I ran into one of the many stores along the strip. This one seems expensive enough. I began taking everything out of the store, ripping off the price tags as fast as I could. I have to save Eve. I have to keep my promise, and I have to do it all by midnight. I noticed the cash register. Maybe there's credits in that. In some of the games I've played, when you steal money, you get more points. I pulled out the pistol Alice gave me, with shaking hands. I can't let her die. I can't. I don't know what I'd do without her. Blue covered the plastic machine, causing smoke to rise from the system. I fired again and again, hoping and praying that it would work. The square credits could now be seen inside the box, from the several holes I had made. I pulled out the money, throwing it out of the store. My breath was rapid and heavy, but I can't stop. I can't afford to be short. On to the next store, I huffed to myself, going down to the next shop and then to the next and the next. Stupid cell phone killer. Think he's God. Nothing but a coward, I growled. Oh, I'm the game maker. See if you can figure out who I am while I watch like a pathetic loser, I mocked, ripping off more tags. The only reason the cell phone killer knocks us out is that he can't fight us one-on-one. Must be afraid to lose to children, I huffed, catching my breath. I stopped, looking up at the ceiling of the mall. Come on. Last time you jumped me to 9th, so where's your power now, huh? Make me player 1. That'll show me. You're not a god. You're not even a real killer. You have us kill each other for you, I barked. I am playing with fire here, but I don't care about me anymore. Eve must live even if I die. I looked at a clock on the wall of the store. 11:52 p.m. I need to hurry. I ran from the store, back to everyone else. It looks like Hal had successfully stalled Ian. My eyes looked over to Eve, who wore a weak expression. Blood covered the front of her blue shirt. I figured she must have vomited. Rachel and Dan joined and stood near Alice, who had taken a defensive stance against them. Both of their guns were drawn, and her expression cold and determined. I huffed, catching my breath as I reached Hal. He gave me a concerned expression, unaware of what I had been doing for the last few hours. All cell phones rang as midnight had arrived. A wicked grin took Ian's expression. "Shall we take this party outside?" he offered. Hal released a grunt. "No. Let him," I reassured Hal. "Proceed," he accepted. We all moved carefully of each other's actions. This is not going to end well. Hopefully, if everything goes correctly, this will all fall upon me. We watched the night sky with impatience, me more than anyone. I'm pleading this will work. Blue writing appeared on the screen, slower than I've ever seen it. Come on, work. Damn it, work! Player rankings. The rules of the game are simple. Survive. Rankings. 1. The blank. 2. The hacker. 3. The brain. 4. The killer. 5. The bomber. 6. The engineer. 7. The spy. 8. The photographer. 9. The hunter. Logged out. 10. The fighter. 11. The gymnast. 12. The medic. 13. The map. Relief hit me like a bullet. All eyes landed on me with total disbelief of what I had done. Eve's eyes locked with my own as she silently thanked me. 1.